Hi, Dana here. Welcome to Sew Learn Create, where I do sewing, crafting, and DIY project videos. Today I'll be starting a new series on beginner quilting. And today we're going to learn about the 1/4 inch seam and how that is the foundation of all quilting. We'll also be working through a project of some patriotic placemats, where you'll do some piecing for small pieces and adding it to a bigger piece, and then quilting. We'll be going through the whole project in this series, so I hope you'll join us, and let's get started. So we're going to learn about our 1/4 inch seam, and your 1/4 inch seam in beginning quilting is the basis and the foundation for every quilt project you do. And the more consistent you are with that 1/4 inch seam, the easier it is for you to create your block and all your pieces line up well. The only other thing you need to remember is that when you are doing a quilting, you need to use a cotton or all cotton thread. And that is because of polyester, you need 100% cotton fabric, 100% cotton thread, so that if you wash them, they will shrink at the same rate. If you use polyester and cotton, then they shrink at different rates and it can affect your overall project. So 100% cotton thread, 100% cotton fabric. So when you're making your seams and you're putting two pieces together in your block, you want to flip them right sides together. And then you're going to either pin or clip the side that you are stitching. I like to use these Wonder Clips, and they really are wonderful. They're a lot easier than pins. And you only need a couple, and that is to keep your edges lined up nice and straight. So now we'll go to the machine and I'll show you how to line up your 1/4 inch foot. Now we're going to set up our machine to make our 1/4 inch seam allowance consistent. And there's a couple of ways you can do that. One way is you can purchase a 1/4 inch foot for your machine. And a 1/4 inch quilting foot has this extension bar that helps you line your fabric up next to it so that it gives you that guide. If you don't have a 1/4 inch foot, another easy way to do it is to use your regular machine foot and mark a 1/4 inch on your machine just below your foot. So I like to use a ruler when I'm doing that. And here's my 1/4 inch mark here. So I'm going to line my needle up with that 1/4 inch, and I'm going to put my presser foot down to kind of hold that in place. And then I can use masking tape. And you don't need a real long strip, but you're going to need a couple of layers. And I'm going to line that up right next to the edge of that ruler on that 1/4 inch mark. So I'm going to put one down, then I can take my ruler out, and I'm going to do about 3 layers. And the reason for the layers is because it helps keep your fabric, it gives it enough of an edge that your fabric doesn't bump over as easily. So I'm going to do one more. And now I've got a little bit of a ridge for my fabric to guide against. So then I'm going to take my fabric pieces, and remember, you want to make sure that your edges are nice and straight and together. And I'm going to put it here. I want to start right at the edge, and I always like to start with my needle down to hold that end of that fabric together. And then I'm just going to watch, and I'm going to make sure that I keep my fabric lined up with the edge of this tape. And I'm just going to stitch down that seam, making sure that this edge of the fabric stays right up next to the edge of that tape. And you want to go all the way off the edge when you get to the end of your block pieces so that that last stitch locks in place. Clip my threads, and that makes my 1/4 inch seam. That is the foundation for every quilt block that you will make. Thanks for joining me today on beginning my series on beginner quilting. Also, remember that that 1/4 inch seam allowance is the foundation for all of your quilting projects. And I hope you will subscribe to my channel so you can find the playlist for beginner quilting. And I'll see you in the next one.